Good day, everybody. Welcome back to the Scoop and Score podcast. How's it going, John?
Going good. We're still months out from anything happening from the Steelers, but we're doing good.
Big
Playoff
Patriots
football.
news
We're
recently.
big chillin'.
This morning, Patriot news, best I've heard in a bit. But playoff football has been
We're
exciting
not
nonetheless.
we're not starting off the program with this. That's not happening.
No, we're starting
we're
with
starting
Jaguars
starting
Chiefs.
Jags Chiefs. That's what we're starting with.
Yeah.
Baby.
Anyway,
Okay, Jags Chiefs. We had really a masterclass put on by Patrick Mahomes Roethlisberger, who came back out of halftime with his a high ankle sprain or whatever.
His
That
snapped in half
was
leg.
a legendary. That's a legendary Pat Mahomes game right there.
as a Patrick Mahomes legacy game.
Comes out in relief of Chad Henne, who guy's a bit underrated. One of the best backup quarterbacks. That's for 2 years that he came in and looked solid in a playoff game.
In the divisional round, too. It wasn't just a wild card game. It was against a team that won a playoff game. He's looked good against good playoff teams.
Well, last time it was against the Browns in the divisional round too.
Yeah, those Browns should have went far. I hope these Jags don't fall off like the Browns did, though.
Hope they don't fall off. The Jags will be chilling next year. They're a good young team. That division's not getting any better. If they'll run it back next year and have the same, they'll see how far they can get in the playoffs again.
I think the Jags are an 11-win team next year. They are very promising. With Calvin Ridley coming back, he'll be a true number one receiver. You'll still have, you'll still have Christian Kirk in the slot, Zay Jones, Evan Ingram as tight end 1, probably a Pro Bowler for the second time next year.
Stop. In the AFC, he is not making the Pro Bowl with Travis Kelce, Mark Andrews, and Patty Freiermuth out there.
Did you say Pat Freiermuth over Hunter Henry and Jonnu Smith?
Hunter Henry's a bum.
Their new offensive coordinator is Bill O'Brien, and Aaron Hernandez and Rob Gronkowski look like Jesus Christ and Jesus Christ's brother when he was their head coach. So, their OC.
No, Jonnu Smith's 80 years old, and Hunter Henry's a bum.
Jonnu Smith is 28, and Hunter Henry's 31.
Jonnu Smith's 48.
He runs like it.
So we'll break down this game. Game wrecker Chris Jones just came out to play. Did you see him do the little nip up after the tackle?
Yeah, it was crazy.
Shawn Michaels?
He came to he came to eat. He was hungry. There's not many players you watch and you say, wow, this guy was hungry for winning. Chris Jones proved me wrong. I was a Chris Jones hater before this game. I would say he's the most overrated defensive tackle in the league. I watched this game and I think he's one of the best defensive linemen in all of football.
That's stone cold Chris Jones for you.
It is.
They say on McAfee. No, but I think we should start putting some respect on Andy Reid's name as he's a top 3 head coach and he ain't 3.
No, he's a top 1 head coach and he ain't anything else. He is the best head coach in football right now at this current moment. Until Bill Belichick gets his mojo back, he is the best coach in football.
Yeah, I really don't think that anyone was beating the Chiefs, but
No.
tip your caps to Trevor Lawrence. That was a solid game for them. Solid game. But
Yeah,
no
solid
one was
game.
beating that Chiefs team.
No.
Even with injured Patrick Mahomes, he was still slinging the rock up and down the field. And,
I saw something the other day, I think it was the Mike Greenberg show, and he redid his top 3 quarterbacks. And his number 1 was Patrick Mahomes, his number 2 was Joe Burrow, which I agree with, and his number 3 was Patrick Mahomes on one leg. And I agree with that list. Patrick Mahomes on one leg is better than Josh Allen.
I don't know. Josh Allen
is a bum.
Well, do you want to get into that? Well, I guess we'll skip ahead and we'll get to that AFC game. That was a travesty at home by Josh Allen, who just looked like a turnover machine. He looked like
Josh Allen
rookie
disaster
Daniel Jones.
class. That's the Josh Allen I know and love. That's the Josh Allen that wins New England Patriots football games.
You haven't beat Josh Allen very many times since he's been on the Bills.
Josh Allen played 3 seasons in the NFL without beating the Patriots once. I watched him lose to the Patriots twice live.
Live?
Yeah,
you were
live.
at those 2 games?
Yeah, 2 of them, yeah. One with Matthew Slater
cool.
punt block, returned for a touchdown by I think DeRon Harmon. It was crazy. That was a game. That was a crazy game. But This Bengals Buffalo Bills game, I think this proves that Joe Burrow is certainly better than Josh Allen. I think like it's so hard to argue now that Josh Allen's better. He's just so inconsistent. And sure, he can move and he's built like a brick wall, but that doesn't matter when you're not winning games and you're like you go out and play like you want to lose.
Yeah, I don't know. Joe Burrow just looked like one of the best quarterbacks in the league out there. Just found his receivers. That one touchdown to Hayden Hurst, like
that
guy
just wide open in the side of the end zone.
Runs an out route. He's just wide ass open.
Yeah. The one play where Joe Burrow was like did not feel any pressure at all and was basically getting sacked and completed the pass to Jamar Chase. It was unbelievable. It was an unbelievable play.
Yeah, that Jamar Chase touchdown, that was a great play by him, run after catch.
It was spectacular.
But what do the Bills do from here? What do you think?
They need pass rush because Joe Burrow. The Bengals O-line, you could certainly see the improvements from last year, like huge improvements for last year. I think if you put this Bengals team versus last year's Rams team, this Bengals team wins. But
okay, the Bengals O-line was decimated. Not like half of them were out. Like 3 of 5 of their O-line was not playing in that game. Starters.
What, last year against the Rams?
No, this year and against Buffalo.
Doesn't matter. Their O-line was better anyway.
That's not improved. It was just the same guys were playing last year because everyone was out.
Who didn't play?
Lyle Collins, Jonah Williams, or what I think that's his name, Jonah something.
Yeah.
And I think their center wasn't playing either.
But Big Ted Karras was still playing, and that's what matters.
You can't say they have an improved O-line when no one played. The Bills looked like god awful. They scored 10 points. I don't think they're stopping, like their defense isn't holding Joe Burrow to much less than 28 than what they did hold him to.
I'm just saying the Bills had one of the best ranked defenses in the league this season, and the Cincinnati Bengals look good. They were running all over the Bills. Joe Mixon and Samaje Perine both over 4.5 yards a carry. Joe Burrow only sacked once. Like he looked comfortable in the pocket every play. He doesn't feel pressure. He's better than Drew Brees in that sense, the feeling pressure. He's better than Drew Brees.
Okay, but they have the number 1 ranked defense. Look at the friggin' offenses that defense went against. They played friggin' New England, the Jets, and Miami twice. The quarterbacks they played were Tua, Zach Wilson, and Mac Jones.
Tua and Mac Jones are both pretty solid quarterbacks. Zach Wilson's a bum, but one of those games Joe Flacco started, so I don't know if that's much better.
My point exactly. Put Zach Wilson in that last game against Miami. Steelers make the playoffs.
I think, yeah, that's true. That is very true. Zach Wilson is not as bad as people think. I think he's just not given an opportunity, and Robert Saleh has no idea how to develop a quarterback.
You can't put that on Robert Saleh. He looked awful. Like, Mike White went in. Guy is a turnover machine, but he completed the ball down the field, and he looked way better than Zach Wilson.
But Zach Wilson's young and needs to develop. He's a raw prospect. This was no one coming out of BYU. I don't think that's what they expected. The whole draft was super raw. Like Trevor Lawrence was a raw quarterback. Mac Jones was the least raw of the quarterbacks. Did you say
Trevor Lawrence was a raw quarterback?
Yes.
He was the most developed prospect since Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning.
No, the most talented prospect, not developed. The most Andrew Luck and Peyton Manning
weren't developed. He didn't lose a game.
What?
He didn't lose a game. He lost like 2 games in college. How was that not? He looked amazing in college. That's not raw.
Looking amazing in college. Every quarterback that's drafted in the first round looks amazing in college.
Yeah, but there's a difference between Malik Willis and Trevor Lawrence.
Malik Willis is not a first round quarterback. Malik Willis. So
a lot of people had him in the first round.
Trey Lance barely played any games in college, and now has barely played any games in the NFL and is complete ass. That's like the definition of raw. Trevor Lawrence played a lot of college ball, but it was for Clemson with that great offense. So when he was going to Jacksonville with the shitty team, he's not used to that. Like, he played for a great high school team. He played for that great Clemson team. It was his first sense of playing bad football.
Great Clemson team. Why they didn't have any. They only had ETN. None of the receivers got drafted in high. No,
they had the one dude who plays for KC now. He's been hurt all year. He was undrafted last year, but he had led all of college football in receiving his freshman season.
Okay, if he was undrafted, then I don't want to.
Well, because he's been hurt the past his entire career.
So Trevor Lawrence didn't have a receiver, is what you're saying.
When did Mike Williams graduate?
Mike Williams was like way before Trevor Lawrence. He was like the same year as Mr. Trubisky, no?
Maybe. I think so, actually, yeah.
Yeah. So, moving on, we got Giants Eagles. I would like to apologize to any Eagles fans listening. I was wrong. I'll admit that they looked very good against the Giants. Daniel Jones looked horrible. The Eagles looked like they're world beaters. And
okay, wait. I'm gonna stop you right there. Daniel Jones didn't look horrible. He looked not good, but he was in the exact opposite situation as Joe Burrow. He was getting pressured every play. He never had a clean pocket. He was running for his life the entire game. And Saquon Barkley, 9 carries. When your best players getting 9 touches, that you're not gonna win a game. Especially because they got behind so early. Their defense needs to make a stop. Saquon needs to take pressure off the pass game. Daniel Jones has no receivers. Richie James was his best receiver. That's not good. Those are not viable options for a quarterback.
Yeah, Saquon looked decent in that game. So
he did. He looked good. Saquon played well. He just didn't get enough touches.
That one where he ran over CJ GJ, man, that was nasty. That was one of the best defensive players in the league this year, and he made him look like his nephew playing football in the backyard.
I don't know about CJ Gardner-Johnson being one of the best, but
Kenneth Gainwell was either backup quarterback or he's like the new Taysom Hill or whatever. He looked amazing. That kid is friggin' jumping out of the gym. That kid's fast. He is fast.
For who? For Philly?
He was playing running back for Philly. I don't know if you watched the game, but he was disgusting.
12 carries, 112 and a touch. Holy shit.
And he's
cooking.
Taysom Hill. He plays quarterback, and he was lining them up like Deebo Samuels and Taysom Hill. He was disgusting.
He's listed as a running back on their depth chart.
Yeah, in college though he played as a quarterback. That's what they were saying on the broadcast.
Oh shit! So he's like Jacoby Myers.
Yeah, except he's not brain dead.
He's a worse Jacoby Myers.
Except he doesn't throw the ball to the wrong team when there's no time left on the clock and give the other team the win.
You know, if the Patriots win that game, there's not even a chance the Steelers make the playoffs.
Yeah, but the Steelers don't employ people who are that dumb.
The Eagles, I don't love, but they really played well. I do apologize to all the Eagles fans. But I don't blame Daniel Jones for his loss. Love me some Daniel Jones. I think he can be the franchise quarterback of this Giants team still. I think Kenneth Gainwell is him. I think Miles Sanders is him.
He was till 10 seconds ago.
I think Boston Scott is him. I think Jalen Hurts is him. I think Devonta Smith is him. I think Dallas Goedert is a meat-munching piece of shit. I think A.J. Brown is him.
Okay, yeah, by the way, you told me to remind you that he had a bad game. Didn't Guy put up 100 yards?
No, 5. He had 58 yards.
How many catches? And
5.
Did he have a touchdown too?
Yeah, he had a touchdown.
Yeah.
He caught.
So he had a pretty good game. He cooked.
No, I'm not apologizing for that. I fucking hate Dallas Goedert. My apologies for profanity.
Buy some Dallas Goedert stock?
No, I'm not buying Dallas Goedert stock. We'll get to that. We'll get to that after the Cowgirls-Niners game. But anyway, watch next week when he gets absolutely eaten up by the Niners defense, because the Giants defense didn't seem to exist in that game, and he still was pretty mediocre.
Final game.
Yeah.
Was Niners Cowgirls. I would just like to say the reason I have the sunglasses on is because how I said that the Cowgirls are going to get touched, which they did, and Micah Parsons was going to have 0 sacks, which he did.
He still played well, though.
Okay, I don't know about you. I'd rather have a sack than 0 sacks. And usually...
No shit, Sherlock.
Well, you can't just say... You literally said he'll What's the guy?
Nick Bosa played a worse game.
I don't care. You literally said Brock Purdy was not going to be able to handle this, like, the constant pass rush of Micah Parsons. Like, he was going to be in his face all game.
Well, he didn't.
Guy had 0 sacks, and Cowboys won.
He put up. There was 19 points scored. It was not the Cowboys defense that was the problem. The Cowboys defense, I think, played perfectly fine. I think the problem with this game was Mr. Inconsistent Dakota Dak Prescott.
Mr. Inconsistent. I don't know. You can't really put that on him. He
He threw more picks. CeeDee Lamb and nothing. Ezekiel Elliott, Tony Pollard, T.Y. Hilton, Dalton Schultz. Dalton Schultz actively trying to lose the game was hilarious. Like, he really badly didn't want to play football next week. He was like, I got paid this year, I'm going.
Like, just toe tap.
Yeah, just the Madden animation. Bro had a Madden animation.
Yeah, hit square instead of friggin' X. Like,
right? Hit X instead of A.
Okay, no.
Or hit A instead of X.
We play PlayStation here.
We play Xbox, actually.
Nah. But Brett Maher with another missed PAT.
Yeah, bro's cut. He's officially cut. He'll never...
Do you think he'll kick in the NFL?
No, he will never kick in the NFL again. He may be the CFL. Future CFL kicker Brett Maher. His $1 million...
We don't talk about the CFL on this program.
No, we don't talk about the Poverty League of Canadian football.
Where you get points for missing field goals. Brett Maher would be god tier there.
Brett Maher would score every single PAT if he played in the CFL because you don't have to hit it to get the points.
PATs, it's field goals.
Yeah, I don't care. It's Canadian football. Fuck that shit. My apologies for profanity again, but I'm pissed off right now. CFL football is...
Like, we gotta play that shit. That shit's awful. If only we played American rules up here.
Right? American rules are... We play American rule games once a year, and they're the best.
So would you like to retract your statement that Micah Parsons is the best player in the league?
No. He played well. It's their defense wasn't the problem.
Well, it sure wasn't.
Okay, actually, I would like to redact that statement because Patrick Mahomes is the best player in the league. But he's top 2.
No, he's not.
Micah Parsons is the second best player in football. It's a team game, and when Dak Prescott really, really badly doesn't want to score points, then that's what's going to happen.
I don't know if you know this, but last year, when the defensive player of the year played in the playoffs, guy had a touchdown in the biggest game of the day. And it was their offense's fault.
Didn't they lose by like 30? Didn't they lose by 30?
Yeah, but that was the fault of...
Didn't they get scored? Didn't they got 40 points scored on them?
Okay, but no.
They had 40 points scored on them. I don't want to hear it.
Listen.
There was not...
When the offense keeps getting 3 and outs and the defense is on the field the entire game, it's kind of hard to hold Patrick Mahomes, Tyreek Hill, and Travis Kelce to under 40 points when your offense just goes 3 and out the whole game.
That's what happened to the Dallas Cowboys, and guess what? The Dallas Cowboys lost by 7. Cowboys lost by 7, and they did the same thing. They only allowed 19. The exact same thing happened, and 19 points were scored.
And TJ Watt forced an interception in that game too. Like, he tipped one up, and Devin Bush caught it.
Okay, and Micah Parsons tipped one up, and the Cowboys' shit-ass defense couldn't catch it.
You can't. Nah. Micah Parsons is not the defensive player of the year.
Yes, he is.
T.Y. Hilton, that game, he played a good game. Do you think he retires, or do you think he goes and plays for the Baltimore Ravens probably?
T.Y. Hilton didn't play a good game, and yes, he's a Baltimore Raven next season. Every wash receiver in football is a Raven.
If you listen to McAfee, it was like a year ago, random episode T.Y. Hilton was on after he re-signed with the Colts. He pretty much said that the Ravens offered him like 4 times the money that the Colts offered him to go be a Raven.
And he stayed with the Colts?
That's how poverty the Ravens are. We are an anti-Ravens podcast.
Yeah, we are an anti-Ravens podcast. Lamarb.
No, I will never call him Lamarb once he leaves that shitty franchise.
Which will be in a few weeks.
But now that he's on, once he's on the Ravens, he's trash.
No. Quarterbacks that are running backs are Lamar Jackson, Justin Fields. Those are the running back quarterbacks, and I dislike both of them.
You're not Jalen Hurts is a running back type guy.
I love Jalen Hurts. He is a dynamic quarterback. Jalen Hurts uses his legs for his advantage, not as his main skill set. Jalen Hurts throws the ball very well. It's just a fact. He completes his passes. Jalen Hurts is a good throwing quarterback.
Okay, we'll move on. We'll move on to Stock Exchange for
Stock
what do you
Exchange.
got?
Okay, I'm gonna start off with a sell, and this is kind of a weird sell, but I think it's only gonna I'm selling Isaiah Pacheco.
Why would you sell Isaiah Pacheco if he has? Yo, he's a rookie. Like, what was he? A 3rd round pick?
I think he was
And
like
you're selling
7th
him?
round. He was late.
He
was
has
a
no
late round pick.
expectations. How are you getting value out of that?
So, his past few games, he's been spectacular, right? Like, his numbers in his past few games have been otherworldly, right? I think the Bengals clamp him up this week, and he's part of the reason why KC loses, or the reason KC wins is because Jerick McKinnon has a huge game.
Yeah, I think Isaiah Pacheco is the best running back on that roster, but
Same, but I think he's about to get clamped. I think his career moments are about to start crumbling.
I don't know. The Chiefs' defense looks a little suspect at sometimes.
The Chiefs' defense does, but the Bengals doesn't.
Well, we'll see. We'll see. I am going to buy someone that I've liked for a while now. I pretty much already have stock in him, but I'm just making it official on the podcast. Jordan Davis.
Yeah, that is a good purchase.
A stud. He's already probably a top 5 D tackle. They have literally the Eagles have like 3 top 10 D tackles on their roster. It is insane.
It's insane. That running the ball against that Eagles defense has got to be the scariest thing to ever happen. Like, I'd be in tears every time they asked me to touch the ball if I was a running back.
Jordan Davis, stud. Fletcher Cox, he's old, but he's a stud. And a former Steeler, Vernon Hargreaves.
Stud.
Javon Hargreaves.
Stud. Yeah, Vernon Hargreaves is okay.
No, he's not even in the league anymore, is he? He was on the Texans last I checked, and that's the last time. That's the last chance you usually get. It's Texans sign you, and then you get out of the league.
Yeah, it's or the Ravens. It's the Texans or Ravens.
No, Ravens DBs are okay. That's Ravens are for wide receivers.
Oh, I thought you just meant in general. Like, that's where you see all the old players finish their careers. It's like Texans, Ravens, Patriots.
Old players, definitely the Raiders. The Raiders just signed anyone.
Yeah, Rich Gannon won MVP with the Raiders. At 38. He was 38.
That's why I hate the Raiders because on Madden, literally, they have their theme team is disgusting because you literally just get every player.
Literally, every old player is a Raider at one point. Like Randy Moss, you get Jerry Rice, you're about to get Tom Brady.
They're back to Tom Brady. Yeah, speaking of that, where do you think Tom's going?
He's a Raider. Tom Brady's a Vegas Raider. Did you hear him cuss out Larry Fitzgerald's podcast guy?
Yes, I did. I saw that clip.
That was hilarious. That was so funny.
I don't know. I could see him going to the Jets. I could see him.
No.
I could see him going to Miami.
He is a Dolphin or a Raider.
But I don't. I think he's retiring. I think he's done.
I don't. Then he got divorced for nothing.
Do you think? What do you think Rodgers is doing?
Aaron Rodgers is a... I haven't thought too much about this, but he is not a Green Bay Packer next year, I don't think.
I think he's also retiring.
I think there's a chance Aaron Rodgers retires.
I think there's a... I don't know. I don't think he's playing for any other team. I think he's done. I think we're going to get to see Jordan Love be terrible at football this year.
I don't think Jordan Love's going to be bad. I think he's going to be, like, manageable. But
What do you think Trey Lance is gone? No?
Yeah, no. Trey Lance isn't gone. I think it's... So, the New England Patriots, when Tom Brady took over for Drew Bledsoe, they kept Bledsoe on the bench for a year. So I think that's what happens with Trey Lance. They keep him on the bench for a year, and then they.
Yeah, but Trey Lance wasn't an established Pro Bowler like Drew Bledsoe was.
Drew Bledsoe was the highest paid quarterback in the entire NFL at the time.
Yeah, and Trey Lance hasn't done shit.
Yeah. Still, I think Trey Lance has value as the number 3 overall pick, and he's a very talented player. So I think you keep him on the bench for a year. If Brock Purdy sucks ass, then you put Trey Lance back in, and if Brock Purdy performs well, then
I'm gonna have a sell here because I think I don't understand why people are saying how good this guy is and shooting him up draft boards. A non-NFL player, but I'm gonna go with Will Levis.
No, I completely disagree.
I do not understand why people are drafting him top 3 on mock drafts.
Will Levis is the best quarterback in the draft. Will Levis, CJ Stroud's an Ohio State quarterback, automatic bum. He's not gonna have a career in the NFL. Will Levis, strong arm quarterback, coming from a more pro-ready system, with less weapons. Again, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. A pro-ready system basically just means he's not getting his meat munched by great receivers.
Yeah, but he's also not playing anyone.
Who's Kentucky play?
No one.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Neither was CJ Stroud. He was playing what? Michigan, who exposed him?
Yeah, Ohio State, who had a top 4, it exposed him. Did you see how good he looked against Georgia's one of the best defenses of all time?
He still got exposed by Jim Harbaugh, who got exposed by TCU.
He had a bad game. He didn't lose the Okay.
CJ Stroud, back-to-back seasons, has gotten exposed by Michigan. And every single coach is Jim Harbaugh in the NFL. Every single coach.
When Will Levis is a bust, and we realize that he's a bum because he's going to get drafted to the Texans or something.
I'd say it's more likely that both of them are bums than just one of them being great.
I know. I think C.J. Stroud is the best QB in the draft.
No, Bryce Young's better. Bryce Young 1, Will Levis 2, Anthony Richardson 3, C.J. Stroud 4.
Hey, I saw a mock draft that Anthony Richardson's getting drafted to the Ravens. I love that so much.
That would be hilarious. Anthony Richardson is not very good, I don't think.
So I'm gonna continue on my points that I got rudely interrupted by Skip Bayless.
Well, you're wrong.
I don't get it. It's the same thing that happened with
Zach Wilson.
With Mitch Trubisky. He just late in the draft, people had too much time to sit on Deshaun Watson, and he just shot up draft boards for no reason whatsoever, just because people had too much time to think about it.
Mitch Trubisky is a 2-time Pro Bowler.
One-time Pro Bowler, first of all.
And 1-time MVP, which counts as a Pro Bowl.
Because he lost to the Saints?
Yeah, yes, exactly. How many times has Kenny Pickett been to the playoffs?
In 2023, he's going to make it once. So
They're going to come last in the division next year. They're going to be behind the rapist Browns.
Browns aren't winning shit. They do not. They gave up. They spent 3 first-round picks in the last 5 years on quarterbacks, and they still don't have a good quarterback.
I know. Why would you buy a rapist when he is a bum anyway?
And make him the highest-paid quarterback in the league.
Yeah, that's ridiculous. That is so. The Browns organization infuriates me. Especially as a guy who liked Baker Mayfield, who liked what the organization was doing, who thought this team could be cheerable for in the future. I liked their roster, I liked their assets. And then they got rid of everything I liked, and now Jadeveon Clowney is a dickhead, and the only player on that team I like is Myles Garrett.
I don't see anyone signing Jadeveon Clowney for anything other than a vet min.
Yeah, 100%. There's no chance he goes anywhere for more than $3 million.
Yeah. Who do you got to buy or sell?
My next buy or sell is Joe Burrow. Buy. I'm buying Joe Burrow.
That stock's not going to go up. It's kind of hard to go up unless he wins the Super Bowl.
That's
staying where it is. He's the second best quarterback in the league, and he's not going to 1. I
think there's a chance Joe Burrow wins the Super Bowl this year is what I'm saying. I was very, very confident that the Chiefs were going to win the Super Bowl. After this week's performance from Snowborough, Joe Shiesty, Joe Burr, I think there's a chance that he wins the Super Bowl and is the Bengals make themselves the team to beat in the AFC, and Joe Burrow moves his stock up even more.
Well, that's a gamble, but
It is a gamble, but that's what I think is going to happen.
I have previously said that I do not see a team beating the Chiefs, which is still kind of true, but I can now see a team who can beat the Chiefs, and it's that Eagles defense. Man, what do they know? They have two of the best corners in the league in Big Play Slay and Bradbury. They got a disgusting D-line. They got playmakers all over the goddamn field. Their receiving core is nasty.
Who's their third-round linebacker that they drafted that hasn't played yet this year? Oh, Georgia, who won the Nagurski Award. Yeah. As soon as he comes back next year, that defense is going to get even better.
Even if that guy never plays it down in the NFL, that is still a gross draft class for the Eagles.
Well, that is the steal of the entire draft when he plays, because he was the best linebacker in the entire draft, but people wouldn't draft him because he's not going to play this season, and that's it. That's the only reason. There was no rhyme or reason to why, other than the fact that he's not going to play. Nakobe Dean.
Yeah, no, cause I'm a big draft nerd, and I was watching him, and yeah, I don't know. I don't know. I don't think if people who sit out their whole rookie year, it's kind of hard to gauge. Sometimes they're good, like Travis Etienne, and sometimes you just don't hear about them.
That's true. I feel like that's possible, but I was so high on Nakobe Dean coming out of Georgia that just when he is fully healthy and ready, I think he's a difference maker on this defense.
Oh, I don't say difference maker. There's a lot of difference makers. I don't think he's changing that very much.
Well, I mean, he can change by himself. I think he can change a game. Like Micah Parsons type shit.
Stop. I do not want to hear about Micah. He lost. He lost in the playoffs to Brock Purdy.
No, Dak Prescott lost in the playoffs. Brock Purdy threw 0 touchdowns in less than 200 yards, and he was pressured the entire day.
You didn't need to.
Yeah, because Dak Prescott sucks ass. And Mike McCarthy is the worst coach in football, but we're not talking about that right now.
You literally took the Cowboys to win, knowing this information, by like 20, I think you said. Like, you said by a lot.
No, I said Cowboys by 1 million, which I just meant they're gonna win. But
like usually by 1 million means they're gonna like cover, which they didn't.
I think they were projected to lose. If they won, they covered.
Okay, but
Anyway, you hold me. Micah Parsons has nothing to do with them losing. If anything, he was one of the few players that wanted to win.
Well, I would say all of them wanted to win. I just don't think a lot of them played.
Dalton Schultz did not want to win that game.
Even if Dalton Schultz makes that catch though, they're not winning shit. They still got to go down and then get the 2 points.
The play where he just got pushed out of bounds and the clock kept ticking. The play where no catch, like he lost 15 seconds plus a down. He by himself he lost 2 downs and about 20 seconds of play time.
I don't know. Even if he gets both of that, I don't think they're winning.
Neither do I. No chance. But I think he didn't care. He didn't even try.
Fair enough. Do you got any more buy or sells?
Do you?
I'm just gonna buy Kenneth Gainwell because of how gross he looked, and that guy's insane.
Good purchase. Okay, I got one more buy, and it was after. I think this will lead into what we talk about next, but it's the New England Patriots offense. I am
manned by Mac Jones.
I've been a Mac Jones owner. I love Mac Jones. He's my quarterback. Mac Jones is him. He is pocket passer of the future. He's Joe Burrow without the weapons. Mac Jones is him.
He's dirtier than Ric Flair.
He is dirtier than Ric Flair. But I just think with this offense, the last time we got to see Bill O'Brien as an offensive coordinator in the NFL, he was coaching the best offense in the entire league with the 2 best tight ends in all of football, and Randy Moss was on that team, so it helps a little bit. But You know, Jacoby Myers is basically Randy Moss. Kendrick Bourne is basically Randy Moss, but better. And Aaron Hernandez is basically Jonnu Smith. Rob Gronkowski's Hunter Henry. Tom Brady's Mac Jones. Like, this team is going...
So we're just forgetting the whole spree in when Houston, where he just was god-awful and, like, he blew a 24-point lead in less than a quarter. We're just forgetting about that, right?
He has a winning record as a head coach by, like, 10 games. If he has a winning record, it's a success and the stock goes up. That's what we're going by.
Next year.
Do you know the difference between a head coach and offensive coordinator is like a huge difference? So, for example, we're going to use Matt Patricia. Terrible head coach, maybe the worst head coach in NFL history, but for 2 different seasons, he coached the best defense in football. He was the DC of the best defense in all of football for 2 different seasons and was the worst head coach of all time. Bill O'Brien was a solid head coach, and when he wasn't a head coach, he was a spectacular offensive coordinator. So I think this New England offense is about to get way more dangerous. This is the biggest possible upgrade for Matt Patricia. The biggest possible upgrade.
But they still don't have playmakers.
That's true, but I think if anything, they gain more than they lose this offseason.
Yeah, but let's say one guy signs away and then New England drafts a bust because they always draft a bust wide receiver.
That's what happens.
N'Keal Harry, Tyquan Thornton, like these guys aren't good.
N'Keal Harry hasn't played in New England in like a season and a half. Tyquan had an okay rookie season. He was hurt he was on IR until like week 4 or week 5.
Can you believe that? Tyquan Thornton, who was hurt all university, is hurt all in the pros. I don't understand that.
Well, no. As soon as he got healthy in the NFL, he wasn't hurt again. And he was solid from afterwards. They just needs to move into his role. I think Jack Jones will play a bigger role in the entire New England Patriots team. I think Kendrick Bourne in this offense won't be benched again because Matt Patricia is a dumbass and benched him. I think Ramondre Stevenson will get more touches. I think Damian Harris will get less touches. I think the O-line gets healthy next year and looks better. Mac Jones actually takes a step next season.
Can you believe that the New England Patriots drafted Tyquan Thornton in front of George Pickens? Can you believe that?
Yeah, yes. George Pickens would not have benefited the New England Patriots offense, especially because they had just traded for Devontae Parker, who is basically the exact same player. George Pickens and Devontae Parker are this.
Yeah, right now, but Devontae Parker's really old and George Pickens is going to be a 1,200-yard receiver next year.
Bro's making up numbers.
What do you mean making up numbers? Guy's going for 1,200 this year.
No, he's not. Kenny Pickett cannot throw the ball 1,200 yards in a season.
When the Steelers win the division next year, I am going to do the biggest victory lap ever.
The Cincinnati Bengals play in that division. The Cincinnati Bengals are...
The Steelers have a way better defense, though, with TJ Watt healthy.
No, they don't. The only players on the Steelers team that I think are actually good players are TJ Watt and Minkah Fitzpatrick. And that's it. That's where the list ends. Every other player on that team is complete ass. Like, Kenny Pickett will not be an NFL quarterback in 3 years. George Pickens, I think he has a chance to be he will be a wide receiver 1. The Steelers are just great at drafting wide receivers. Najee Harris doesn't know how to run forward. Deontay Johnson doesn't know how to run forward. Their entire offensive line is poo-poo. Chris Boswell is good. I love Chris Boswell. Chris Boswell is the love of my life. Cam Hayward likes boys, which is fine, but like it's
Chris Boswell.
You saw how the last NFL player that played that position liked boys, man.
When he's hot, he's Justin Tucker. When he's cold, he's Brett Maher. It is like sometimes he just can't hit a kick. Like you saw at the end of this season and like 3 seasons ago. Like we can't give him a contract extension because the second we do that, he's
a bum again. Yeah. Do you know what they need to do? Do you know what they need to do? They need to sign Carl Nassib so they can have Carl Nassib and Cam Hayward playing beside each other.
Nah. Cam Hayward, put Connor out there. What we need to do is we need to start running a 5-3. We need to sign J.J. Watt out of retirement. And we need to get Connor, Cam, J.J., Derek, and T.J. rushing. That'd be sick.
Yeah, that'd be pretty cool. Why would Derek be rushing, though?
Shits and gigs. Same with Connor. Okay. NFC Championship weekend. Who we got?
Wait, we got one more
Niners,
thing before the
Giants.
NFC Championship weekend. One more thing. Sean Payton landing spots.
Who cares? He's gonna go to the. I don't know. I actually don't even know where he's gonna go. I don't think it's. I don't know if he's even coming back. He probably won't. He'll probably wait one more year.
He'll what? Sorry, one
He'll
second.
probably wait one more.
He'll
I
probably.
don't think there's any team. He'll probably wait one more year. I don't think any team that doesn't have a coach right now will be that interesting because the Chargers and the Cowboys haven't fired their guys yet.
Yeah, I agree. I think a team that he probably will go to that I like the best would be the Cowboys or the Broncos.
I think the only interesting place, the only two that don't have a head coach right now are the Cardinals and the Broncos.
I don't know about the Cardinals, but the Broncos, I think for sure. And I don't think Mike McCarthy's the coach of the Cowboys next year.
Well, they haven't fired him yet, and it's Wednesday.
Yeah, I'd give it. Him and Jerry Jones are like father and son, husband and husband.
I'd give
You
it
know,
to
they're
if he's
close.
not
They're
fired by
close. They're
Friday.
what?
If he's not fired by Friday, he's staying.
Yeah. No. I think there's a chance he gets fired close to the draft.
Okay. Championship weekend.
Okay.
Start with the NFC. Niners, Giants.
Niners, Eagles. You mean?
That's what I meant. Yeah, Niners, Eagles. Who we got for Niners, Eagles?
The Niners versus the Eagles. This is gonna be a mind-blowing game. I think Niners by 2.
I think this game is gonna come down to who's the better quarterback, and I think Jalen Hurts is a better quarterback.
I think Jalen Hurts is a top 5 quarterback in the NFL right now. I think the San Francisco Niners have a what?
I would say he's top 7.
Well, what's your top 5 quarterbacks right now?
Off the top of my head,
Mahomes,
Mahomes,
Joe Burrow, Allen, Jalen Hurts.
Then I can go anywhere with this.
Jalen Hurts is 4.
I mean, you could. I don't know. You could go that route, but you can still put Tom up there because it's Tom.
And he also had a good. Tom threw for 4,000 yards and like 30 touchdowns. Like he played well this year.
Yeah, so I'll probably go Tom 4 because, or actually I'd go Rodgers 4, Tom 5.
And then Hurts 6.
Yeah, and then Herbert 7.
Herbert the bum. Oh no. My top 5 goes Patrick Mahomes, Joe Burrow, Josh Allen, Jalen Hurts, Trevor Lawrence, Tom Brady, then Aaron Rodgers, then Justin Herbert.
Yeah, I probably put Trevor Lawrence 8, but he's young, so he's got a lot of room to develop. But
A lot of room, yeah. But T-Law, I like as a top 5 quarterback right now. He if it wasn't for a fumble on the goal line, the Jaguars almost beat the Chiefs.
yeah,
So
pretty much. Last game of I can't believe we only got 3 more games of football left this season.
I know it's
We
crazy.
got AFC Championship rematch between Chiefs and the Bengals.
Yeah, you start. Go ahead.
I think the Chiefs got this in the bag. Unless Patrick Mahomes is that hurt by his ankle, that's the only thing that I think can stop the Chiefs is Patrick Mahomes' ankle.
Mm.
But if that's fine, the Chiefs probably go to it.
I think we're disagreeing on both games. I think we're about to disagree on both games. That's crazy. Because I'm taking the Bengals. I think the Bengals have a better run game. I think the Bengals have a better defense. I think the Bengals quarterback is almost as good. I think their receiving weapons are better. I think their coach is much, much, much worse. I think Zach Taylor might be an idiot, but boy can he win playoff games.
Imagine you put Joe Burrow in a competent organization.
Right? Imagine Joe Burrow on the New England Patriots.
Okay, but then he wouldn't have anyone to throw to. And he still wouldn't have an offensive line. He'd have Cole Strange blocking for him. That's it.
Cole Strange was a top 15 rated offensive lineman this year.
what I just said. The only guy he kept blocking for him is Cole Strange.
No. You were dissing Cole Strange. That was a secret diss at Cole Strange.
No, I was saying he's the only one that's good.
Okay. I'll hear you. I'll believe you.
Like, put him, like, where would he be good? Like, put him on, like, some random NFC team. Like, I don't know. And he'd be good. Like, put him on the Saints.
No.
Put him on the Saints and he'd be disgusting.
Saints are average. Painfully average.
No, but I think they have a good GM, like that one year where they had, like, had one of the best draft classes ever when they drafted, like, Marshawn Lattimore, Ryan Ramczyk, and Alvin Kamara, like, and all
Yeah, that's true.
draft.
But I think their coach is, like, numbnuts.
Yeah, no, him and Arthur Smith for the Falcons are some of the most autistic coaches ever.
Yeah, they're really, 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 really bad. That division in general, holy shit. Matt Rule is terrible. Todd Bowles is terrible. Like that.
Yeah, but Matt Rule's not there anymore.
I know, but who's their coach right now? Nobody. They had their intern, who I think
Yeah,
should get hired.
Yeah, intern. No,
He won.
Just like
He almost made the
Saturday.
playoffs.
Just like Jeff Saturday. Yeah, and it's the worst division ever.
Jeff Saturday should not get hired. Oh fuck.
Yeah, no. Hire Jeff Saturday to be the OC of the New England Patriots. That'd be great.
Bro's preying on the Patriots' downfall, like they didn't own the Steelers.
Yes.
You've watched the Steelers beat them one time in your entire life?
Yeah. It was the most amazing thing ever. Which should have happened twice because Jesse James caught that ball.
The ball was out of his hands.
So, did Des Bryant catch it?
Yes, Des Bryant caught it.
Oh, but Jesse James did it.
The ball never touched the ground for Des Bryant.
Yes, that's why it wasn't a catch. Do you not remember the catch? That's literally why it wasn't a catch, because the ball hit the ground.
No, but
reached,
see, it was up
and
over his
he reached
arm.
and it hit it like a... Yeah, no, the ball hit the ground for Des Bryant. It still should have been a catch, but it hit the ground.
It was after. Jesse James didn't catch it. He never had possession.
That wasn't even the rule. That's not even why they said he didn't catch it.
That's
had
why.
possession.
That's why I said he didn't catch it.
You caught it and reached forward. Reaching forward is a football move, and like.
No, it's not.
That's the definition of a football move: is extending the ball. That is a football move.
Reaching forward though, like Jesse James did, he was not making a football move. He was trying to do too much. It happened that.
So a football move.
It happened that the best safety in football was right
and
there.
Sold us because we would have got a bye if that game didn't happen. Steelers would have won the Super Bowl that year.
No, they wouldn't have. No, they wouldn't. Guess what? They didn't.
No, because Le'Veon would have been healthy. Le'Veon didn't play in that AFC Championship game against New England. Le'Veon was hurt because we would have got a rest our starter, so Le'Veon would have been healthy. We would have had the killer bees and we at home, and we would have won.
No, you wouldn't have. No,
So
Chris Hogan owns your property franchise anyway. Chris Hogan
And
is.
they're going to Foxborough without Le'Veon. Steelers would have won.
No, Le'Veon doesn't get healthy with a bye week.
No, because he got hurt in the time between then. Is what I'm saying.
Doesn't matter. Le'Veon doesn't change how the outcome of that game is. New England won by more than one score.
Who cares? This is gonna wrap us up for today.
Yeah, I think so.
We'll be back next week to break down our thoughts on the championship round and who we think is gonna win dodgeball.
Yeah, we get to who's the best dodgeball team in the flag football game. That's exciting.
Give me Justin Jefferson for dodgeball. Guy looked great last year.
He was insane. At the one cannon catch to win for the NFC, that was beautiful. Anyway, we'll talk about that next
Mickey
week.
and Cam were goated too.
Yeah, they were. The Steelers were pretty good in the Pro Bowl. There's a bunch of Steelers that deserve to be Pro Bowlers.
Well, we only got two this year. We only got Minka and TJ, and TJ doesn't even deserve to be there because he was hurt all year. But
I think New England only has one, and one of them should be Jack Jones, but the voters are stupid as fuck.
Who's your one Pro Bowler?
What?
Who's your one Pro Bowler?
Matthew Judon.
Oh, word.
Yeah, which I think is deserved. He was one of the best pass rushers in the league this year.
Yeah,
but I think Jack.
Highsmith should have been the Pro Bowl.
Who? Alex Highsmith? Yeah, he had a really good season. I think it's a heavy linebacker year. It's a really heavy linebacker year. So I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, that's gonna wrap us up. See you guys next week.
See you guys next week. Sounds good.